Right now, there's a strike with the writers of celebrities of different shows and like late night shows or whatever. And the weird thing is they're striking when they're about to be eliminated anyway from their jobs. AI is develops so fast. ChatGPT 4, I think that's what it is so sophisticated that it can write books. It helps people with their work. It actually does their assignments for them. I'm thinking that some of these people on Twitter, it has them, they have the AI do the tweets for them, and then they just get the information and they put it on the tweet. I have no evidence of that, but it can write songs, can write music, does like data searches, like you can look up stuff. It's almost like Google, better than Google. I haven't really used it to that extent yet. I dabbled in it slightly. Kind of get annoyed with the ads, but yeah, you see a lot of people. I think IBM they're releasing 7,000 jobs. I think within the next 5 years or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of news, man. It's hard to remember it all, but a lot of these office jobs, like I said, are going to be replaced. It's going to be way easier to replace an office job with AI than it is people with manual labor, like I'm doing right here in this video. Manual labor will be replaced by robots, and some of it already is. And that was the initial scare about 10 years ago. 20 years ago was manual labor being obsolete because of robots taking over it. But it's a lot easier to have office work replacing like data and all that, replacing people, than it is to build a machine, have it shipped, put it together, and do all that. That's just way more expensive. And then you have to have the people to help create the machines, which we have a labor shortage of people that don't want to work. Or they're in a different type of a work environment where they make money on like online or DoorDash or things like that, side hustles. So they don't come out and do service jobs or manual labor like I'm doing currently in this job. What's kind of funny about these screenwriters is I don't think they're that funny anyway. And they're striking, so they're going to be in for a rude awakening. They really don't have any type of leverage. That's what's just funny about it. They should pretty much be happy. They should pretty much be happy for the time they have left screenwriting. For instance, I could probably have AI write me a skit. Right, I usually just go off the cuff with my skits, but I can have them write a really good skit for me, and I might use that in the future. But they're a dinosaur. They're out. They're gonna be replaced. And it's. I don't like to see people lose their jobs, but if you're not a really good person, I'm not gonna like have that much sympathy, especially if you hate me anyway because of my political beliefs. There's jobs out there, okay? You have to get your hands dirty. You know, these people who are ultra privileged, we live in a society where people are living in a bubble. They're living in a fantasy world, and they don't live in reality at all. And they don't have to do manual labor. They don't have to do these shitty jobs like I have to. I come home filthy every day. And I hate it, but I do it. Well, they're going to have to come down to my level and start working beside me. Their hands are all soft, and that's fine. They're not used to being dirty. They're going to have to adjust, and it's a lot easier for a young person to adjust, a young adult, than it is an older adult. Older adults get stuck in their ways. The older somebody gets, the less they can adapt. The less they'll deal with change. It's really hard for people who are already at a certain level of comfort to willingly, well, now they're going to have to be forced to accept a lower level of quality of life. And they're going to have to get their hands dirty. We are very short in the service industry here in America. We're very short in the manufacturing industry. All kinds of places are hiring to do manual labor because people don't want to do it. And eventually these people, their money's going to run out. They're going to have to, if they want to keep paying their bills, or unless they want to be on the street, they're going to have to start doing these jobs that I'm doing. At this current facility I work at for the time being, I'm not going to be there much longer. I'm about to put in my 2 weeks notice. But this current job, they can't keep anybody. They've had some really good people leave the company. And some of that is the way management treats people. Some of it's they don't pay people right. And when you have a negative work environment like that, it makes people not want to stick around. And that's what they're going to have to deal with. I see it. I see it's hard to get people on. It's hard to keep people. The job I work at doing this type of work, I come home exhausted. If I'm, DAing all night or I'm sandblasting, I'm wore out the next day. Extremely tired, 10 hours. Yeah, and that's what they got to look forward to. And that's the thing is, some females can be okay in this type of industry. Most can't. And especially the ones that are in the office, they're going to come in for a rude awakening when their HR jobs, they lose those. You start seeing more office jobs being gone because you just don't need them. Companies need to get smaller up top. They're too big in the middle. Too many people in the middle. Too many cooks in the kitchen. And you can have AI do most of their jobs. So what I think is going to happen is I think that, and I could be wrong, I think at some point females are going to realize this. They're probably going to resist. They're probably going to double down on their sexuality and probably resort to prostitution more. But at some point, I mean, I don't know if those women can come back after going that route, but at some point, females, I would think, seeing the lack of opportunity besides manual labor, the younger women or the ones that are, teenagers now, and they see what's going on and they realize, wow, I'd rather just have a man provide for me. At least I'm not living in my mom's house or dad's house, whatever. And understanding like, yeah, they're the breadwinner. They bring in all the money, but so listen, man. It's like at least I can trust his authority and he'll care about me. At company, he won't. A lot of these females are going to be extremely pissed off that lose their jobs and these cushy air conditioning jobs, and they have to do this because they've taken out so much in college debt. You're going to like these women have to work. They're either gonna work or they're gonna have to do these jobs. They're gonna be homeless, or they're gonna have to like really submit to a man. They're gonna have to really like they look at the average man like me like shit, and I'm not as bad, but most men in my field, they look down on us like we're homeless bums. At some point, they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, I want him. I don't care." Like it's unsustainable. Their standards are unsustainable, and there is a backlash. And will men who have walked away accept them? The older ones who have hated on us, who said they don't need us for nothing and we're worthless, driving some men to, self-deletion. Who knows? And, we'll see what happens. And I could be wrong. We could just, AI might not replace anything. And their jobs, they might just get paid to do nothing. They pretty much don't do nothing anyway. They don't do anything anyway. So, yeah. That's my video. I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on and what we have to look forward to, at least what I think.